everybody. So I've got this venison heart here, and I'm just going to simply trim it up and put it into a couple pieces here so I can marinate it to throw in the grill tomorrow. Just going to start out by taking all the fat and all the white part off here, the outside that you can. I don't want this knife actually. It helps to have a real sharp knife. Work your way under the membranes. Work your way around there, just a little piece there. We'll get in there a little further. Just the easiest thing to do when you're butchering your own things at home is the meat will show you where to go. You can pretty much just follow the lines. You see here, I'm going to take all this stuff off. It's just work down. It's like reading a map. It's easier than that. You just separate the pieces, although I'm not separating this from the outside in. I'm going to be cutting in and separating it from the inside out. But it's easier to take the outside parts off first. Just real shallow. All those tough bits and all the sinew. That looks pretty good. Now, you're going to work from the inside out. Let's see the chambers here. I'm going to use my smaller knife. See, you can see the line of the muscle here and how it comes into the heart. So I've got some to trim off here. Then I just kind of use my thumb to separate that out. Just make a little cut, push. I can see where I just run my knife. Lay that back there. Piece to trim in here. kind of trim as you go. Oops, try to keep my bald head out of the camera. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead kind of like a spiral and just lay the whole thing open. There, look, you can lay that whole heart out into one piece like that. So you see you got a couple sections here. So I've got a little bit of trimming to do here, and I'm going to cut this into 3 pieces total. And a little bit of trimming in here. This stuff's really tough and stringy. It's the inside of the heart. You want to trim that out. Just kind of run your knife under there. A little more than I wanted to on that cut. Just kind of skin that out of there. Someone's going to yell at me for cutting towards myself, but hey, I cut towards myself sometimes. Just get this last little bit over here. So my other knife probably would have been the better choice there. Considering that's pretty much what it's designed for. Last little bit here. One tough little nugget. There we go. So I'm going to lay this into 3 pieces. Get this little bit here. Just a tough little bit on top. I just want to get that little bit off the top there, and then we got our bigger hunks here. Now what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to experiment a little bit and follow a recipe word for word a little bit that I have written down somewhere. But I'm going to marinate this meat, marinate these pieces of deer heart here, and then marinate them overnight and grill them up tomorrow. This piece here, I'm going to take the tenderizing mallet too. I'm going to pound that one out a little bit, tenderize it a little bit before I throw it in the marinade. Might do that to all this here. Doesn't hurt anything, that's for sure. And I'm not going to do that right now because the baby's sleeping, which is why I had 5 minutes to do this and show y'all. So there you go. That's a trimmed and cut up deer heart that I'm preparing to grill. Alright, so here I've got my cut up heart, and I put the marinade together, and you don't need a whole lot. It's just Worcestershire, a little bit of soy sauce, some garlic, some thyme, some oregano, a little bit of rosemary, and I'm going to throw a little bit of red pepper flake in there yet, and just a little bit of ground black pepper. And we're going to let this soak for a few hours to overnight. Okay, so I've got my venison heart trimmed out, cut up, and I've had it marinating. Got it right down here. And I have my grill turned on. I've had it on high, blazing here. I was just roasting bones for venison bone broth, and now I got it cranked the whole way up. It's as hot as it'll get. And what we're going to do here is just cook this pretty quickly. We're going to sear and char that outside as best we can, and then let it rest. We don't want to overcook it. If you overcook heart, it's no good. You might as well feed it to the dogs or feed it to the cats. So let's see how we do here. Ended up with 3 pieces. I'm just going to leave that rosemary on the outside there. I'm going to put this across the hottest part of my grill. The other thing I did here, I did not let this come to room temperature before putting on the grill. I've got 2 thin cut Delmonicos over here that need to be cooked. Those I let come up to room temperature. With this heart here, it's kind of finicky. You want to make sure it's cooked perfectly. So I'm going to leave that inside cool a little bit. Come back, see how we did. Alright, we've got our venison heart flipped over there. Looking really good. Threw our other steaks on there. It's almost time to flip them. And I'm going to pull this off of here in about a minute. Okay, so we have our moment of truth here with our venison heart. Looks great from the outside. We got this nice char on here. Slice is nice and easy. Cut it up nice and thin. Oh, I think we did perfect. Oh, that is delicious. See, we didn't get it overdone. It's not too bloody. And boy, that is super tender. All right.